Start the podcast. Let it rip now.
Yeah, that's what you get from the champ. You are going down. I'm Hercule.
Question.
We have a question?
Why is this zoomed in on your face?
What the fuck? Yeah. There's something wrong. I know I'm beautiful, but damn. Technical difficulty.
All right, people, reset.
Why is it?
Well, here, I can check and see if that's actually what's on, too. Because I doubt it, because I got my notification.
I'm telling you what, dude. It's on, too.
Oh, nope, that's not what we see.
Because
we're...
I doubt it, because I got my notification. I'm telling you what, dude. It's on, too.
Oh, nope, that's not what we see.
Because
we're...
I doubt it, because I got my notification.
Oh, wow, that's trippy. That's like a picture within a picture within a picture.
Oh, wow, that's trippy.
That's what we see. So, I don't know.
That's what we see. Well, okay.
It's like that scene in Spaceballs when they're watching everything that's happening right now.
Well, then...
Just continue.
We are good, so...
If it starts to look goofy, just yell at us.
Yeah, just let us know. If anyone caught the intro.
Oh, no, they caught it. They saw the whole thing. We're the ones that ruined it. Oh.
People are like, what the hell?
Oh,
anyway.
they get the reference. If you don't get that reference, you were not alive.
I mean, anyone who hasn't seen The Wolf of Wall Street, I mean, God help you.
After this podcast, you should go watch it.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and buy it. You'll want to. All right, so this week we're talking about money, specifically investment, but we're talking about money.
Lots of money.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about this fiasco that's been going on, but I brought my man Dave to represent, and the champ.
I brought my belt.
He earned that belt. He and Joe Biden won that sumbitch.
Damn right we did.
Dude, I'm telling you what, that game.
Oh, shit.
Whoop, it's okay. It fell like the stock market.
Oh shit.
That game, legitimately, like, I would not be surprised if people thought it was scripted. It was not.
I mean, if anyone watched it in its entirety, I mean, random was downright scary.
But that's the way it is every time I play with Rando. Rando has some of the best ones.
I don't know, but I mean, I couldn't even get ones that good.
But speaking of random, here's a fun fact for you. I don't remember when. I think this was in the 90s, like the early 90s. They did a study where they had a bunch of chimps. They lined up stocks on like a cork board, like just companies, and they had chimps throw darts, and wherever the darts landed, they tracked like the progress of the stocks. It outperformed the top hedge fund managers, like all of them. Damn. By like, I can't remember this, but like it well outperformed the top hedge fund managers on Wall Street.
Apes together strong. That's what they've been saying on Reddit.
Oh my God.
And well, I mean, they're right. WallstreetBets, they're sitting at 9 million members right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's huge. That's a lot of people. But they all get together on one thing.
There's a bit of a misconception with not all of the members, but like the original members, they're Wall Street guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But there's this misconception that they're like all the little guy. It's like, no, some of these dudes are major players. I shouldn't say some of these dudes. Some of these people are major players.
But regardless, though, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he's a part of WallstreetBets, maybe, but I can't remember his name. I should have came prepared. He was part of something to basically stick it to the man, and then is it David Portnoy?
I don't remember.
He was a part of something, and he eventually became the system. And then I'm pretty sure it's David Portnoy, possibly.
Was it? Wait. Wasn't who's the dude who had the EpiPen?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Well, he's part of that group too. So before
You're
everybody,
kidding.
no, I'm legit.
Wait a minute, the dude who created it, or the dude who like ended up
The dude who jacked the price, like.
Oh, fuck that dude.
Well, but he's a member, or at least he was. I think he still is.
Well, yeah, he's a member. He's like, oh, how can I screw somebody out of some money?
I mean, here's the whole thing with that, though. Like, yeah, it was. I see both sides, but he just took it to an extreme. Because, like, yes, you have a great product. You should be able to. And you're king of the market. You should be commanding a. But healthcare is one of those areas where. The sad fact is, like, people gotta make money. Otherwise, there's no incentive to do it.
The thing is, though, what that should do in a capitalist society, that should encourage other manufacturers.
Right, and the problem is he has the patent on that.
Well, I mean, they got to figure ways around it. Not
and they kind of have. So this is where the FDA comes in, because there are other companies that make EpiPen like products, but. Oh, I don't remember because I read this so long ago. But basically, like, there's backlog on the FDA approving similar treatments, and the basically what people are saying is that they're in bed with the FDA and they're making payoffs. And I mean, this is fact. Like, this is not necessarily payoffs, but the FDA has their favorites. It happened when the AIDS epidemic was happening. They basically. They picked a handful of pharmaceutical companies to give, FDA trials to for AIDS treatments or HIV treatments, and then everybody else was just kind of like, well, but then the worst part of it is it's not only that they didn't get FDA approval, is that they were not legally allowed to administer treatment because they did not have FDA approval.
Right.
Which is like, as our friend Matthew McConaughey would say, fuck the FDA.
Yeah.
Have you seen Dallas Buyers Club?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
Is that a
Matthew McConaughey?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, anything with him's in it good.
All right.
You know what?
All right. Does that include Magic Mike?
You screwed up your chance.
What chance?
You could have have you seen David? What is it? I was gonna say Diamond Dallas Page.
DDP? What?
No. Matthew McConaughey, the movie we were just talking about.
Magic Mike?
No.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, Dallas Buyers Club. You could be like, have you seen that? No. Be a lot cooler if you did.
Yes.
That joke was a little out there. Anyway.
I missed.
So
no,
that's all. I couldn't speak. I'm so excited. Anyway, so.
But yeah, so money. I've learned, and I'll admit to this, I learned a lot about the stock market, like, recently, because, like, I didn't even know shorting was a thing. Or I knew it was a thing, but I didn't understand how it worked.
Well, I've got something to read. And once I get there. Anyway, this is about apes together strong. Apes strong. By the way, I bought some AMC stock today.
What are you going to do when they go bankrupt?
Take my $100
You're like,
and
whatever.
Fuck off with it.
You
Actually,
won't get your
I'll lose
$100
it
back, though.
Oh, they ain't going bankrupt. As long as everybody goes and watches movies, we're good.
This is true. I miss AMC. I want to go. They're open now, but there hasn't been anything good coming out that I want to see. Anything new, I should say, not good.
Yeah.
But like all the movies that I would want to see, I already own. So it's like, eh. I thought about going and see. Oh no, wait. This was before the pandemic. I missed it. Casablanca. They were replaying Casablanca in theaters, and I was gonna go see it, but
Never seen that movie.
oh, it's so good. It's actually I can definitively say that's my favorite movie of all time now.
Casablanca?
Mm-hmm. It's not what you think it is.
I've never seen it.
It's so good. I highly recommend it. and it holds up tremendously well. It's got everything. It's got action, it's got romance, it's got comedy, and like good comedy, not like it holds up very well.
I am trying to find this. So in the meantime,
Plus, if you guys like
ahead,
dry,
yeah.
if you like dry humor like I do, you'll love Rick's just dry, wise ass comebacks.
see, that's the thing, man. I love dry humor. I feel like we were meant to be Canadian.
Is Canadian humor dry?
Oh yeah.
Is it really?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Tom Green, he's Canadian. I mean, have you ever seen Trailer Park Boys? It's
no, I
super
haven't.
dry.
You've asked. Well, so like to give you an example, there's a scene in the movie where Rick is sitting down with a couple of prominent Nazis and the French police chief that are in town, and they're like basically trying to threaten him into cooperating with an investigation. And he's like, "We have a complete dossier on you, Rick." And then he's looking at this thing, and it's like got all this activity that he's done like in the past, and he goes, "My eye's really brown."
It's like, what the hell? How do you not know? No.
Oh, I know, but it's just like because they're trying to rile him up, but he's just like, and to me it seems like because you got to remember this movie was made it was released in 1941.
Oh yeah.
It was shot in 1940, so World War II is going on, and the U.S. is not involved yet, like as far as active conflict when it was being shot.
Man,
And Rick is like the epitome of how the world saw America, and more importantly, how America saw itself. Very much an isolationist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the world's problems are not his problems. And when you remember that this is in 1940, it hits even harder because again, we were not in the war yet. When this story was written, the United States was not in the war. Like it was happening, but we could have just as well gone, like, because you watch it now and you're like, obviously he's not going to side with the Nazis, but at the time it's like it would have been a lot easier for him to just give up Laszlo and Elsa and take Elsa and ride off into the sunset. Would have been so much easier for him. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's conflict there.
Spoiler alert.
No, I don't want to spoil it for anybody because it's such a damn good movie.
Dude, so many people are they're selling. All right, so a lot of people are trying to sell AMC stock right now. They're setting limit orders, which I'm assuming that means that they're only taking $1,000 per stock,
or a certain number of shares, depending on how they want to do it.
Well, a lot of people are asking for $1,025 and stuff like that, and $5,000. And I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. I don't think you're gonna get no. I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how much they're gonna.
Are you looking on Reddit or are you on a platform?
I'm on SoFi.
Oh, okay.
And I'm trying to find that thing that I was telling you about, but of course, everybody and their mother have knocked it out of rotation, so I cannot find it. And it's basically a thing for noobs, and it's explaining the hedge funds. And it basically, what the guy said was that you buy up stock, or I'm sorry. Basically, the hedge funds, which I'm pretty sure you're probably going to get into this, so let's just go ahead and get into it. The hedge funds basically borrow shares, which I didn't know they could do that. How does that work? Do you know?
Can through a broker. You basically borrow shares that a brokerage firm owns
At an interest rate. No. That's when
it depends. There are different.
I don't know how it works.
There are different agreements you can have, but so the best example. Actually, I think Ben Shapiro had probably one of the best examples.
Has he been talking about? Yeah.
Well, he busted out a whiteboard and explained, and I watched a bunch. He oversimplifies it, but basically, like, so this is how shorting works.
He has a lot of faith in his viewership, huh? Just kidding.
What do you mean?
Oversimplifying things.
Well, no, I just mean he's putting it in layman's terms. He's not getting into because part of the problem
it's confusing as shit.
Well, especially because I've done a lot of reading and watched a lot of videos lately, just trying to make sure because I knew we were going to talk about this and I didn't want to be talking out my ass. And the mistake a lot of people do is like they're talking about who's like, and then these people invest in derivatives and. You know, there's they're subsidizing the fucking I don't even remember what.
That's the thing. I'm not going to use words in a way I don't.
Well,
know.
They use financial jargon to people who aren't going to understand it.
Oh yeah.
And some of them will explain what they mean, but it's like that's not necessary. Just use an example.
That's like when Cobra Kai reference. When what's dude's son? Robbie. Oh, when he's working at the computer shop and he's talking
Yeah, and he just
bullshit to the guy, and I'm sitting there, I'm like what? You know, and he's just like, oh, well, basically this and this, and I was like, that makes no sense. But that guy doesn't know what you're talking about, so the guy's just
it
like,
totally
I don't
works.
know.
It's a sales tactic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not a good one, but it's a sales tactic.
Yeah, it's like at least if you're gonna bullshit, at least know a little bit about what you're talking about.
No,
But
just no words.
I know, just
If you're gonna
big words.
truly bullshit someone, but the problem is when you do that, and I hate to throw him under the bus.
No. You will defenestrate him. If anyone doesn't know what that means, that's the act of throwing someone or something out of a window. The more you know.
Hashtag knowledge is power.
Defenestrate.
I hate to throw my business partner under the bus, but like he's a product of corporate sales from the 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
So he has these he has a bad habit of overwhelming people with information. But the problem is he doesn't know when to shut up. So I've actually seen him at some point be talking about something to someone who knows what they're talking about, and he's just keeps talking, and he's talking nonsense. And the whole time it's like, and they're shooting me looks like, the fuck is he talking about? And like I'm just cringing the whole time because it's like he has no idea what he's talking about, and the other person knows he doesn't know what he's talking about because they actually know what they're talking about.
So he's one of those?
Yeah, he's one of those. And
I know a few people like that.
It's kind of fun to watch, but it's not so fun when it affects your business and livelihood.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Especially using words you don't know and then they know them and you get caught.
Well, this is a guy who, and like, okay, you don't know anything about design.
Like graphic design?
No, like interior design, like color theory and all that shit.
No, absolutely not.
Would you put white knobs on a blue cabinet?
No.
Exactly.
Hell no.
Exactly.
That's just that. Well, okay. So I don't understand what you said.
Like the handles.
Color theory or whatever you said.
Color. It's just like what colors go together. And
but like matching like siding with roofing.
Precisely.
So
yeah.
like I guess that that's color theory.
Basically, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
same concept.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah. I had to do that a lot. So I'd be like, yeah, I don't think these shingles go with this siding color, so. But I would definitely say.
But I love
Cabinets are
it.
different,
That's
sure.
an example because we have some designers that we work with, and they're like legit designers, and like 90% of interior designers are full of shit. Like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh yeah.
But there's a handful that I know that like, and a couple of them they've been like, oh, we're gonna do this, and I'm just like, really? And then I see it, and I'm like, oh, okay, good job. But anyway, he's talking. He's like, yeah, and we're gonna do these cabinets, and we're gonna put white handles on them. And you just see this look of disgust, like, really? I wouldn't do that if I were you. And I'm from across the room. I'm like, thank you.
It's like, yeah, not going with that. That's like my house when I bought it. Obviously, you've seen my living room and the color scheme. Everything was the same. Blue walls. Dark navy blue.
Ooh.
Ugh. I was like, what in the...
You know what that is? What paint's on clearance?
Oh, absolutely. Well, and the thing is... Oh, okay. There's the light switch cover. Oops. Oh, there's the plug cover. Oops.
Yes, if you're selling your house, a fresh coat of paint may be a good idea, but it has to be painted properly.
The only thing is we have a painter in the family. Her dad, my wife's dad. So, of course, we're just like, hey, we paint our house.
Right, but I mean, generally speaking. Which brings, finally, what we're going to get into, shorting. So,
that was a tangent.
And yeah, I know, right? And this ties into the financial crisis of 2008, which was spearheaded by shorting oh God, what are they called? What kind of mortgage was that again? I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, that's driving me nuts.
What is? Oh, staring at your face. Oh God, what kind of mortgage? I know this.
FHA?
No.
You talking about The ones who crashed?
Yeah.
I didn't.
The shitty mortgages, the ones that they were giving mortgages to people that really shouldn't have been lent money at all.
FHA's one.
Well, FHA's a government program.
Well, actually, yeah, you have to have a credit score, blah blah. Blah. Anyway,
yeah, and actually, FHA restrictions went way up. Like qualification went way up after 2008.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
I don't know.
What the hell are they? Subprime mortgages.
Never heard of it.
Oh, because they don't exist.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, they don't. This is when like they were in like they're not even kidding. I watched a documentary. This is ages ago about that crash, and they were interviewed. And this was news footage from the time. I think the one that stuck out to me the most was a stripper in Vegas owned 5 houses. 5 houses. Because
she was paid.
Well, no, that's
I know it's
the
because
thing.
of the the mortgage.
Because they were giving mortgages to fucking everybody, and these were like obscenely high interest rates.
Well, see, but the thing is though, if they were doing that, and me being like someone with half a brain, I would have been renting these houses out and making.
They were, but here's the problem. So when you have those kinds of interest rates, and a lot of them were variable rate.
Oh.
So like you start out good, but then the market fluctuates, and then your interest rate skyrockets, and you can barely afford the payment anyway.
That's true.
So what are you gonna? And like, let's say you're renting it out. Let's say your mortgage is $500.
You can't change the rent if you have a
right.
lease.
Yeah, well,
unless that sucks.
You might luck out for timing, but like, let's say, and I'm pulling numbers out of my ass, but let's say your mortgage payment is $500, and you're renting the place out. Let's even be generous. Let's say you're in a really good renter market for a landlord, and you're renting it for $800 a month. You're pocketing decent profit every month until your interest rate skyrockets, and now your mortgage payment is $1,000, which you can't even afford that payment without your renter anyway. And the worst part of it is when you get foreclosed on, what happens to your renters?
They're screwed.
They get kicked out is what happens.
Yeah, that's not.
They might luck out, and the new owner just keeps them, but that usually didn't happen.
No, of course not.
Yeah, so it was but basically that whole thing was spearheaded by some guy who I forget his name. Basically one guy was first, but there were basically 3 groups of people at 3 different banks. I know one was Deutsche Bank, but anyway, they realized what was going on, and then they started shorting these mortgage-backed securities, which was how they were able to insure these shitty mortgages against default, basically. Because when the mortgage defaulted, they just sold off the debt, and it was bought for pennies on the dollar, and then everybody was happy. So they couldn't come up with enough of these mortgages because these were popular to buy, and I still don't fully understand how and why. This is where a professional investor could help me, like a professional accountant.
Anyone watching?
Yeah, feel free to chime in. But they were popular. They were popular to buy for investors, so they were just and plus, I mean, banks make money on mortgages.
Oh yeah.
Especially,
yeah.
I mean, they've.
Even 3.5%. I mean,
if there's an interest rate on it, they're making money. But where was I going with this? Okay, so that's basically what started the collapse of the housing market. So they were basically shorting these mortgage-backed securities that were majority subprime mortgages. But so basically what happens in layman's terms when you're shorting a stock, you hear people say betting against it a lot, and I never understood what that meant because I didn't know you could borrow stocks. Because to me that never made sense to me. I'm like, but aren't you losing money? If you bought the stock, you would be. But what you're doing is you call your broker up and say, hey, GameStop, I want to borrow, and we'll use one just for simplicity. I want to borrow a share of GameStop for $10. Your broker says, okay, I'm going to let you borrow it for 30 days. And then they agree on a commission rate, whatever. So I take that GameStop stock at $10 that I have not paid, but it's worth $10. I see it trending up, and let's say it goes to 25. I'm going to sell that stock at 25. but I'm betting on the value of that stock going down in the near future. So when it does go down, let's say it goes from 25 to 5, I'm going to buy that stock at $5 after I sold it at 25. And let's say I owe my broker the original $10. So I've borrowed for 10, sold at 25.
You made $5
bought at 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I made $25. I had to buy it at 5, so I'm out $5. I have to give my broker 10. So I made $10 profit investing none of my own money.
That's not fair.
Well, it is and it isn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, because the thing is, they're taking a risk too. Because if it doesn't pan out the way they want, they either, like you said, they either sell.
So what's happening now is, let's say the same scenario. I sold that GameStop stock at $25, expecting it to go down, but then it goes up to 50. And I have a limited. It's not like I can sit and wait because I still owe my broker that stock. Eventually, I'm going to have to purchase it no matter how much it gets to.
Right.
So if it goes to 50 and I'm at day 29, on day 30, and now I'm with this situation, the hedge fund guys are really in a pickle because it's like, okay, do I wait the extra day or whatever the term is and hope it goes down, or it might go up even more?
Yeah.
So I'm either going to for sure lose my ass now, or I might lose more tomorrow. Because either way, I have to give that stock back.
Right.
So that's where they were really shafting these guys. So, okay, same situation. Day 30, it's at $50. I borrowed it for 10. I owe my broker that $10.
On top of 50.
So here's the thing. I have to spend $50, and I have to give my broker
10.
Well, I have to give my broker that stock back plus the 10. So I don't give my broker $10. I give him $50.
And that's for one stock.
And again, this example is ridiculous.
Exactly, but the thing is, GameStop is definitely a prime example of what you're talking about, and that really stuck to the hedge fund.
Way more than that.
Oof.
Well, but here's the thing about hedge funds: is a lot of people are saying it's unfair. It's like yes and no because
they knew what they were doing.
Well, that's the theory anyway. That's why the average person cannot get involved in a hedge fund. You have to have most hedge funds require a certain amount of net worth, like right out of the gate, and or a certain level of savvy in the market. So like you basically have to be a professional at this in order to get involved in a hedge fund. And there's enormous risk and there's virtually no safety net except in the form of corporate bailouts, which we are seeing, which again are not illegal, but we have to remember, going back to 2008, a lot of those hedge funds got bailed out by the government.
That
is
insanely messed up.
That is insanely messed up because this is a practice. I've heard different. They're not as regulated, like not even close. Like if you invest in a mutual fund, there's a lot of things out there to protect you as as an investor, because mutual funds do not short stocks. They're not allowed to.
Right.
They are long-term investments. They hope companies do well. Shorting stocks is like a really quick cash grab. And I mean, it's super risky, but people do it. People do it all the time, and if you know what you're doing, it works. But when it doesn't work, boy, do you get fucked. Which I think, for the record, I think is great that these hedge fund guys are getting screwed. I love it. But here's the problem.
They've got more money than they know what to do with. So
well, but it's not just the hedge fund guys that are getting screwed over. It's and again, here's the difference though. Like it's affecting pensions, 401ks, and stuff today. But these are all long-term investments that trend with the market. It's not unless you retired like the day this happened.
That's the thing, though. Like when you enter in.
Well, but even then, it's not like you're getting a lump sum out.
Right. Well, and like what you just said. I mean, it makes sense. 401ks, yeah, they're being affected today, but they're already on a.
They were affected way more in 2008.
I know, but they're being affected every day because of the market.
Yeah, well, 401ks are not something...
Maybe not as,
Well, but 401ks are one of those things, like, if you're checking your... What was that stupid thing say?
Says YouTube is not receiving enough video. Just keep talking. Everybody can hear you still.
Well, I'm checking the feed real quick. Checking the feed right quick. Oh, look at that. It says we're going live. Oh, no, we're still good.
It says stream status. Oh, look at that. It says we're going live.
No, it looks fine to me.
We're still good. It says stream status. Oh, look at that. It says we're going live.
I heard myself again. Heard a repeat of a repeat of a repeat. What the hell?
I mean, now we got 3 people and 2 likes. It's probably Andrew.
Oh, one of those likes is me.
Oh.
I cheated. Shit, what was I saying?
I cheated.
Oh yeah, 401ks and mutual funds and things like that. Like 401ks are retirement accounts, and mutual funds are something where you throw money at it periodically, and then you realistically you should forget it exists.
Oh yeah.
And then years and years down the road, you get your payout, and even index funds. You're talking I think about 7 years for a decent index fund to mature. That's one of those things, like you treat it like a savings account when you're putting money in it, and then when you go to withdraw, that's when you look at it and be like, oh wow, I'm glad I didn't withdraw it 10 years ago, because fuck it.
I don't know what's going on with this stuff.
Having a clue.
Got to be the technical. Anyway, so
well, we're talking about something controversial.
I know,
again.
right? And then we start having issues. It's like
Every time.
to all 2 viewers, we're sorry.
Every time though.
You know?
But like I said, if the live stream ever messes up, you can always go back.
Actually,
and...
the Cards Against Humanity, not one issue.
That's true.
But anytime we talk about something that's relevant, I mean, like I said, it's not like we're a conservative channel or whatnot, or this or that. It's just like,
Or
what's going on, you know? Stream is healthy. Well, good.
I'm gonna do a little experiment.
Okay, let's do it.
So why I think women should stay in the kitchen?
Oh shit! Boof! It shuts down. Yeah, that's. I actually read something today. I'm gonna get a employee of the month sign and put it up in my kitchen with my wife's picture.
Oh, I'll never forget. I used to work with a guy, and like this joke is horrible, but it's funny. And he used to tell this joke. He was like, "Yeah, my wife's been on me to. Our dishwasher quit. And my wife's been on me to get a new one. I just don't see that it's necessary. And she's getting all mad at me. I'm like, and you're supposed to be like, why should she get mad at you? Like, well, because every time she brings it up, I'm like, I don't understand why you're mad. God gave you 2 dishwashers right here."
I thought he was going to say something about, I don't want a divorce.
No, it's like one of those things like, and that's how the fight started.
And that's where it went. So, apes together strong. Anyway, I don't really have anything else. You basically explained it all. But this guy just he did kind of what you did, but he simplified it down and basically said for people to buy and hold their stocks, and that's how they make the hedge funds pay. You know, they just sit there and sit on their stocks because you've got a strike price,
Yeah.
and the actual price.
Yep.
And then, but if the strike price is lower than the strike price is lower than the actual price, then the broker.
That's when they go for a short.
Yeah, well, I'm probably butchering this. If I could find.
Yeah, we're not hedge fund guys. If we were, we would be in a much nicer garage. There'd be a BMW over there, a fucking Lamborghini, and a Ferrari white.
We might have a studio, actually.
A white Ferrari.
You know, I was thinking about taking this corner right here all the way down to the opening of the garage and building a room right there. And
then we can do like a real Joe Rogan thing.
Well, and the thing is, I was like, yeah, but it wouldn't be that big. But I was like, you know what?
Neither is his.
Dude, I could paint it green. You wouldn't even need a green screen. And we would be on Wall Street or wherever.
This week, we're going to the ocean.
I'm in Delaware.
Not on location.
Um. So anyway, so let's get back into this. AMC. Supposedly Wall Street Bets. That's the one they're going after now. And
yeah.
So it's sharing currently at 8 something a stock, 8.90. I want to say 8.97 a stock. So the thing is, they're saying to buy and hold.
You know
the
what,
exact same
though?
way.
You know what the hedge funds should do to get back at these guys?
Don't give them any ideas. This is David versus Goliath, son. It's more
it's
like
closer to Goliath versus the entire Israelite army, but
hey, apes together strong.
I'm just saying, like this
I love
is
that.
this no hedge fund guys. Hey, I'm tipping off the God damn it, what's the Reddit group again? My brain's not here.
Wall Street Bets.
Wall Street Bets. I'm tipping off the Wall Street Bets guys.
It's in the title. Just kidding.
Oh. So here's what, if I were a hedge fund manager with a really vindictive and zero regard for my clients' money, this is what I would do.
Like Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
Move the money from their pocket
It's
to our pocket.
It's not real. It's a
not real.
fugazi. It's a fugazi. I would start fake shorting stocks.
How do you... Yeah, but how do you pull that off? Like the market's not going to go down.
I'm going to crowdsource Reddit to help me in a pump and dump scheme that will now be legal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a random company that isn't worth shit right now. Like let's play a game. Let's assume let's postulate that Blockbuster Video is still in business. But Family Video. I don't know if they're publicly traded, but let's assume they are. Family Video, it's going way out of business. Its stock, if it has any, must be worth like fucking nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very slyly pick up a shit ton of Family Video stock. And this might not even work. So if it doesn't work, let me know. Like, I'm going to pick up privately a shit ton of Family Video stock for pennies on the dollar. And then I'm going to go to my broker. I'm going to say, hey, let me borrow even more of this stock. But make it very kind of like what they did, like talking is like, hey, we're gonna short GameStop, we're gonna short Family Video, get all these guys on Reddit to buy into the stock. Sure, I'm gonna lose a little bit on my fake short, but I own a shit ton.
Oh, it's gonna come
Family
back to
Video.
you.
Fuck my broker, like that's gonna be pennies on the dollar. And when they start pumping it up, I'm gonna immediately, sell and give it back.
Oh yeah.
But then privately, I've got this just shit ton. Now I believe hedge fund.
Is that stock manipulation though?
Well, yes, but this is stock manipulation. But it's not. So in order for it to be illegal, for it to be.
So then why did Jordan Belfort get in trouble?
Because he was doing pump and dump. So what he was doing. Is he was getting people...
That's right. He owned a lot of the stock. He would get people to buy it, and then he would sell it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, but the other thing, he was also engaging in a lot of high-pressure sales tactics, so he was not actually forcing people, but, basically forcing people...
I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, I think the high-pressure sales tactics is bullshit. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, you said yes. Yeah. I've had some damn good salesmen try to get me, and I'm like, not happening today, bud.
Well, especially if they're calling you, you just hang up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, wife's calling. Well, click. Not that hard.
Yeah, it's really not. I hang up on telemarketers all the time.
Oh, that's like my favorite thing to do.
Now, the only thing I'm not sure about is I'm pretty sure hedge funds still have to publicly disclose what they're doing, but I don't think they have to report as much to the SEC. So I'm not sure if that would actually work.
Which is insane.
Well, yes and no, because you have to be of a certain caliber in order to invest in this kind of thing. So you're basically the trade-off is less enforcement and oversight, but more risk.
Yeah, because they have an insane amount of risk.
It's a very and they know it. That's why your average hedge fund manager makes. Right out of the gate, it's 2%, and then let's say that they guarantee. Let's say that they project. They don't guarantee, but let's say they project 5% profit, Anything above 5%, they get an additional commission rate on. And it's usually quite high. It's usually somewhere along the lines of like 20% of the profit after a 5% increase. But that's why, because
they have a lot to lose.
But they also have a lot to gain.
Oh yeah.
So if they deliver on what they promise, they're going to get paid.
I don't ask them to judge me on my losers.
I ask them to judge me on my winners because I have so few.
See, you said it backwards. You have more winners.
I did say winner. I asked them to judge me on my losers. That's when you hang up on Jordan Belfort, and then the credits roll.
Movie's over. He's not going to jail. This dude's an idiot.
He never meets the Duchess. He stays with Tracy. Is it Tracy or Trisha? I can't remember. She cuts hair. You notice he loses his accent as the movie goes, because like when it first starts, she's like, yeah, my wife's name is, I think it's Tracy, but it's like, my wife's name is Tracy. She cuts hair. And then
I feel like he was talking quieter. So the thing is,
he was, but
his accent was coming out.
He has more of that Long Island accent.
Well, yeah,
and then by the end of
Jordan Belfort, he's got a thick accent.
Oh fuck yeah, he does. He's hilarious too.
Oh, I've been watching his I think podcast or whatever it is, or just I think it's on YouTube. I can't remember.
Oh, he's got a ton of content on YouTube.
Oh yeah, dude's genius.
Oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know, the presentation at the end of that movie, that's the real Jordan Belfort introducing Leo.
I know. The funny thing is, I looked that up afterwards. I was like, man, what? I was like, what's that guy like getting so much screen time? And I was like, that's Jordan Belfort.
Because that's Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you what, that movie was just beyond its time. Or it was I don't know how to explain it. Like that's the perfect movie for today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, especially post 2008.
Yeah, and that was what 2014 when that came out.
I think that sounds right.
I'm pretty sure it was 2014.
I think it was 2014.
I remember renting it. That's how long it's been because I haven't
wow.
rented a movie in a long time, and watched that at home. That was a great movie. I wish I would have watched it in theaters. I did. Theaters.
I saw it in the theater.
I miss theaters, awesome. Dude. I can't wait to go to an AMC theater.
I will tell you straight up. I'm an AMC. I won't go anywhere else.
That Stubs list is actually a pretty good deal. I think it's like $25 a month, and it's like
$19.99.
3 to 4 movies a week.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay extra for the premium.
Oh yeah, you can do it online and to grab your seat, which
just do it right.
With everything going on, I don't think anyone's really worried about that.
Well, no, but like it's great because of that program, I discovered Dolby, which is the best. Fuck IMAX. Dolby's where it's at.
Dolby theaters?
Yeah. Oh, Dolby Cinema's where it's at.
Which AMC do you normally go to?
Either Castleton or the one it's technically the South Side, but it's like right there in Greenwood-ish.
So AMC 17?
Yes, that one.
That's my favorite.
The one in Castleton ain't bad.
AMC 12.
Where's AMC 12?
Washington Street.
Oh, I haven't been to that one.
It's not bad. Their chairs are better because the recliners recline further.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, it's much nicer. I'm like, the other one's like, when my feet are just like this, I'm like, that's not reclined. That's
okay.
I'm like, I want my feet up.
Yeah,
dude.
there is a little bit of difference.
But that's to help not encourage sleeping.
Yeah, dude.
Because the thing is, if you're just sitting there all kicked back, relaxed, watching your favorite movie, and it's all dark, and you're eating popcorn, you go to sleep.
I will never forget. This was years ago, back when I was still married, but we went to go see The Green Hornet in theaters, and it was those reclining seats.
I have not watched that yet.
It's not worth it.
But I didn't think so.
Well, but my ex-wife fell asleep in like the middle of the movie. I mean, because she was reclined, and it was kind of boring, and she was
comfortable. I think I was sick one time, a couple years, 3 or 4 years ago, and ended up falling asleep during the movie. She hitting me, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? This movie's boring anyway. I just went back to sleep. I was kind of mad. We actually had Movie Pass. Do you remember that?
Yes, I had it too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That was insane.
Bullshit. It was bullshit. I hated that fucking thing. It never fucking worked.
Oh my, dude. I watched a movie every day for almost a month. I know I ran those guys bankrupt. I literally went and watched the movie every day.
I don't do this so much anymore, but there was a period where I would always have these apps that paid you. And I got to where I could judge how long it was going to be around. Movie Pass, I took one look at that. I'm like,
Dude, it lasted for a while.
and I'm shocked it did because I'm looking at this and I'm
They
like,
had to keep borrowing money and borrowing money.
well, but I mean, look at their model. Like,
There's
there's
no way
no
it was
limit.
Yeah, like that's how they got people in the door. $9.95. Well, it started out like $30 a month. They should have kept it at that.
Yeah.
For unlimited, $30 a month. They probably could have $45 a month.
Well, but it's funny. So I did the Movie Pass, and then which they pissed me off because they ended it and they kept billing me. So I got into it with them. I was like,
That's why did you just go to your bank? Like, hey, I ended my contract with these guys.
oh, I did. It just ended up being a whole ordeal because I was trying to give the company the benefit of the doubt first, you know. But I know, but
Well, fuck that.
I know. Yeah, fuck that. Just like
Fuck
Conor
that.
McGregor got fucked.
Hey,
No,
I can do
man.
that now. I've got
Yeah.
some movement in my arm.
I hear that was not a very good fight. Obviously not for Conor,
I
but
don't know. I didn't watch. Connor got knocked out.
yeah.
Like
I didn't
quickly,
watch
I
it.
heard.
Yeah, it was a very short fight from what I was told.
Yeah, but they were cool after the fight.
Yeah.
That's always good. I don't know.
I just think he hadn't been able to devote his full focus. Like, he just had a baby.
Connor?
Yeah. Like, not that long ago.
That's incredible. They should make a movie about him.
They did.
He had a baby?
No. His wife had a fucking baby.
You fucking arsehole.
Fucking awesome. One of my favorite lines of his, I think it was the Nate Diaz fight in the press conference, and he's basically saying, he's like, you're a millionaire because you're fighting me. Like, you should say thank you. You should go home to your wife said you should go home to your wife and say, baby, we're rich. Break out the red panties. And it's like, the reason, so like at first I hated Conor McGregor because he was an asshole, but then I watched him fight, and now I love the guy because it's like, yeah, he's an asshole, but especially like a little further back when he was just like owning the UFC.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, everything he says is accurate. Like, is he an asshole? Yes, but
Wonder if he's getting paid to throw him.
nah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I
He
don't
stands
know.
he stands to make much more money by winning fights. Even if someone were to offer him money to throw one.
That's true. Or maybe he owes some hedge funds.
Maybe he was screwing over the hedge funds.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they had a big bet on me? I screwed them. I got something in my eye besides my finger.
I'll teach you motherfuckers to short Conor McGregor.
What else do we got? I mean, I don't foresee like a lot of different stocks going out because I feel like there's gonna be something.
No,
I feel like there's gonna be something put in place to stop this bullshit, and I'm like, I don't think it's bullshit. I think it's fair.
Well, what they did was they exposed a major flaw in the system, and I don't know how you can legally correct it.
I mean,
If you allow shorting, then I mean you can't really stop this from happening.
exactly.
And I do want to clarify, Robinhood, while what they did was unethical, it's not illegal. Because we were talking about that a little bit before the
Well,
show.
we'll find out when the
Well,
lawsuits.
but it's right there in their user agreement. But what they're going to do is they're going to look at that user agreement and see if that constitutes. Contract law is weird.
regardless, yeah, because all the mumbo jumbo in it can be taken this way. Well, that doesn't mean that.
Well, and what you have to understand too is that typically ambiguity in a contract benefits whoever did not write it. So if I'm a lawyer looking at that, I'm going to be looking for anything that is not particular. And I'm not a lawyer, but I mean,
Played one on TV though. No.
If they took on the case, then they think they've at least got a chance to. And what they're really probably going to be going for is some kind of settlement.
Oh yeah, and people are gonna get paid.
Well, that's what they're going to shoot for, because that's typically the goal of a class action. It very rarely goes to trial. It usually ends up.
I don't think they should let this one go.
Well, yes and no, because going to trial has risk, because you can lose and get nothing.
I know, but the thing is, like, who's suing? That's my point.
It's a class action against Robinhood.
So I don't know what class action is.
Well, okay, so class action is basically when a law firm gets a bunch of people that have the same complaint and says, okay, we're going to lump all of this together and we're going to file one lawsuit on behalf of all of you. And the problem with class actions is they tend to take a long time, but they usually don't end up going to trial. So, but the lawyer also gets like the bulk of the money. Like you might get paid, but it's going to be years.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, and here's the funny thing though, because apparently I don't remember the exact verbiage, but there's a YouTube channel called Legal Eagles, and it's basically a lawyer who practices law in I think 6 states and the District of Columbia. And he goes through a lot of really funny content, but eventually sometimes because what he'll do is he'll like go through movies and like go through all the illegal things, and then at the end of the movie he like gives the sentence or the penalty. It's actually pretty funny. Jurassic Park in particular is hysterical. But on this one he went through, and it's like, is what Robinhood did right? No, but when you sign up, you actually agree not to file a class action lawsuit, and it states clearly in their terms and conditions.
Yeah, but Robinhood also wasn't the only application that did that.
Correct. So you're going to see individual class actions against individual companies.
Right, but Robinhood is the meat and potatoes right now. Because
Robinhood's getting all the attention because I guess it's a favorite platform for most of those people on.
Yeah, because the thing is of its name.
Yeah. What did Ben Shapiro say? Robinhood becomes the sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah. And it's hilarious.
Well, but you also have to understand, and like I'm not defending them, but you have to understand what Robinhood is designed to be. This is not designed. It's not a platform where people are supposed to be making a ton of money. This is for throwing $100 in and then maybe getting 500 out when something like it's not. And I don't know. Their excuse was they have transaction requirements, and what might have been happening is Robinhood may not have had enough money to handle all those potential cash outs. Because like if everybody bought all that GameStop stock, and then all cash out at the same time, they may not have had enough money to cover those transactions.
Is that that's basically what the apps do? They're basically
so here's
broker?
So here's what Robinhood does. So when you're using Robinhood, you're not actually buying the stock per se. Not literally.
They're buying it for you.
You're giving Robinhood your money, and they're making the purchase for you. So they're acting as your broker.
Exactly. Okay.
Now normally when you have a broker, you pay a commission on trades and buys and sells and whatnot. That's how they make their money. Robinhood does not charge fees. I think they get their money through advertising or something, or what they might. And again, I don't know, but if they're not advertising on the app, how they would be making money is it's very similar to an index fund, basically, except you get to pick exactly where your money's going. So in an index fund, you give your money to your bank or financial institution, and they take a bunch of people's money, and then they invest it in various stocks, bonds, and treasuries, and all these things. And then over a period of time, the whole fund makes money, and you get a percentage of that based on how much of that fund is made up of your money. But with Robinhood, you're basically, again, you're giving your money to the broker, and then they're taking your money, and yeah, they're doing your stock, or they're quote unquote buying your stock, but what they might actually be doing, and again I could be totally wrong, is they might be letting you borrow that stock, and then they're taking your money and investing it where they want to.
But that would definitely be another type of law if they can prove that. If someone can prove that, then that would definitely be a lawsuit, because that's it's shady.
No, it's because, and again I could be totally wrong, but I guarantee you it's in the fine print in the user agreement. Because like it's not like the stock is not yours.
I know, but wait, what you're talking about is fine print. Normally it's 3-4 pages long, pretty much, and people don't.
It doesn't matter. You still you agree to it.
Exactly, that's the point. So it's like you got to read that fine print, people. I'll be honest, I didn't.
Well, but I mean, let's be real though, because like if you read I guarantee you, if we all read the fine print on Facebook, nobody would use it.
I'm trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like,
It's just boring.
I know, I get it. But and they do that for a reason.
Yeah, because they know they can get people to sit there and mindlessly scroll, and then the people mindlessly buy stocks because they get addicted.
Oh,
That's
big
all
time.
it is.
Big time.
That's all it is. It's
Big
an
time.
addiction. It's just like
It's no
Matthew
different than a game.
McConaughey's character, and he goes. You take that, you sell a stock at $8, or you buy a stock for $8, and it goes up to 16. And they want to sell, make their quick buck, and he goes, no, I got this. You got this brilliant idea.
Another stock.
Yeah, and you get them to keep reinvesting in it, and because they're addicted. That's all it is. Addicted.
Yeah, there's one flaw in his scheme though. It's like they're probably going to get more addicted if they actually get physical money out of doing it.
Well, the thing is, it's like, but
I guess
seeing numbers versus having physical money. Like, because the thing is, I have a lot of well, I don't have a lot, but I have quite a few different cryptocurrencies, and today has been nuts.
Yeah,
I started out at $95 today, and I got up to 180. Yeah, and I'm like, what is going on? And it's just, and now it's sitting stably. It's sitting stable at 140, and I'm like, that's cool. I made $50. Not really.
not
If I
until you
cash out. But the thing is, it's like you want to play the long game with this stuff because
not with cryptocurrency.
Well, some of them you got it. That's the thing. When you're I actually want to discuss a little bit about cryptocurrency, so that's a perfect segue. Anyway, so they have on cryptocurrency apps, whatever, they have 1 day, 1 hour, 1 month, 1 year. Go to 5 years and watch it, look at it. Most of them are like this. They're
yeah, but the problem with cryptocurrency,
a lot of them are climbing up right now because people's faith in the dollar.
There's that, and they're also marketing very well.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, though, with all the spending that Washington's doing, and they're trying to push through that $1.9 trillion
but
without Republicans in the Senate.
But here's the flaw, and I could be wrong, but here's the flaw
In what?
In cryptocurrency.
Okay.
So let's say that they're right, and cryptocurrency is popular because of lack of faith in the dollar. So let's say the dollar tanks.
Cryptocurrency is not going to be able to take it over.
Well, no, but therein lies the problem. What cryptocurrency isn't tied to anything. It is essentially a shared agreement that we all agree that this is worth what we say it's worth, largely due to its ability to be traded for dollars. So if the dollar tanks...
Well, the thing is, though, with all these different cryptocurrencies out now, I mean, you can convert. So the thing is, at the end of the day, if you have $150 in UMA or
right, but let me
like this and switch it over to Bitcoin.
I didn't get that. I'm talking about all cryptocurrency because here's the thing.
Are you going to circle back, Jen?
Yeah. No, here's what I mean by that. So let's say the dollar tanks and there's hyperinflation.
Okay.
And let's say your Bitcoin, and it's nowhere near this, but let's say your one Bitcoin right now is worth $100, and there's hyperinflation. So theoretically, your Bitcoin is worth more, but it still has less buying power because the dollar is worth less. So it's kind of like how if there's hyperinflation, I'm using post-World War I Germany as an example. Pre-World War I, let's say a loaf of bread was 1 German mark. By the time the Great Depression rolled around, one loaf of bread was, I think it got as high as 6,000 German marks. So it doesn't really matter what your exchange rate is if your buying power isn't there. Who fucking cares? If a loaf of bread costs $6,000 and you have 600, who gives a fuck? But if your dollar maintains buying power, then your $600 is good.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing's happening in Venezuela.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, just rampant.
You're not rich. You're not eating good.
Even some of the wealthier aren't eating good.
Well, yeah.
If you're not rich, you're not eating at all.
A bologna sandwich is like beyond. I don't know what currency they use there.
I think they use $1.
You think so?
I don't think it's not a U.S. dollar. I don't remember.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, how much things cost? Because I remember someone was talking about getting a cup of coffee, and it equated to like $600 US.
But but here's the crazy thing: is why the hell would you pay
Coffee?
$600? Why would you pay $600 for a cup of coffee?
They need their Joe.
I guess.
What the fudge, man? I don't know. I don't get people. But,
Although I did recently learn that they use the U.S. dollar in El Salvador. Like that's the currency.
What the fudge?
Well, I mean, if you're going to use a currency, that's the one I would use.
Well, I mean, just because you're not in America doesn't mean you can't use a dollar, I guess.
Oh no, you can use it, and there's a lot of places that will take U.S. dollars. Ironically, Mexico is not one of them. You would think, like,
But you would think that there's a lot of money that comes from there. That's
I think that's why
cartels.
I think it's actually a law, because I'm not sure. Because the thing of it is, when I was down there, like changing dollars over to pesos is like an ordeal.
So money that is collected from cartels,
Mm-hmm.
is that already money in our
You mean by law enforcement?
trade? Is that money in our system? Like, or is that money outside the system? They will come in and wash it, or
I don't know.
because the thing is, if it's money outside of our system, it's like, why don't we just, instead of printing money,
Well, I think
why
we
aren't
do.
they adding that for like?
I think we do.
I think we need to like if we collect money from cartels and whatnot, because there's millions and
Throw it
billions of
towards
dollars.
the national fucking debt.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know what? Honestly, at this point, if they worked out some type of system and they said, look, Americans, this is gonna suck, but let's all come together. I know we screwed up with the budget, but we're gonna fix the budget. But let's fix the budget, get it fixed. But this national debt, if everyone would throw $50 a month at this,
We talked about that on the podcast, and I said, like, what's the, and I think I was being conservative, is like, what's the population of the U.S.? Like
330 million. Let's just say 330.
Okay, yeah, and I remember, and I was saying, let's be conservative. Let's say that 250 million of those people are tax-paying workers, like they're in the workforce, which is probably higher.
Actually, less than half of the United States workers, or less than half of the United States people have income tax.
Well,
So
right.
I would assume that.
Okay, well, we'll call it half. Let's call it 100.
The Wi-Fi network. You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
Ooh.
No one said your name.
But I think I pointed this out.
Just say 200 million. Just
Round it to 200 million. And I think I said a year, but like, let's get crazy here. $1 a month in an additional tax, you won't even notice it. That's 250 million a month.
Boom.
Every
single person, not just fat cats, not poor people, just $1.
$1.
For just $1 a month.
For just $1 a month, you can preserve
Your
the
dollar.
value of the dollar.
Yeah. It's like, look, I don't like the idea of that, but the thing is, before I would agree to something like that,
There has to be a balanced budget, or it won't
budget
work.
has to be taken care of.
It won't work otherwise. And
No $3 million fucking wine glasses, wood blown for fucking over things. They get Dixie cups.
you don't even need Dixie. We've said this before.
I
too.
know.
You don't even need
You
Dixie
can get little
cups.
cheap glass ones, or even plastic ones
You
that
can
look
get
like glass.
real glass. It's not prohibitively expensive.
But I'm just like, that's the kind of stuff. And then sending millions of dollars to other countries for gender studies.
Which I read. I was like, that's got to be wrong. No.
Hey, there
that's
was
real.
I can't remember if it was money or just mumbo jumbo in it. I think we kind of talked about this
Mumbo jumbo.
in the stimulus, how they added about UFOs. They said they have 180 days for disclosure.
Yep,
And I'm
yep.
like, this is scary.
Uh-oh. and then all of a sudden the stimulus bill doesn't get passed.
Oh, no, it did. That was the last one.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up about sending foreign aid, because this is a lesson that the U.S. has not learned, and we should have learned it in World War II, because it was discovered. So there was a massive, I can't remember, I think it was an earthquake. There was a massive earthquake in Japan in the 1920s or 30s, and the U.S. sent a ton of aid, like money and food. They sent a ton of canned food. Well, when the U.S. military was island hopping, and some of the first
They
underground...
attacked us 20 years later, bastards.
Well, not only that, here's the kicker. So all that food, or not all that food, but a lot of that food that was supposed to go to civilians, they found it in the Japanese bunkers after they had taken over those positions. And it actually still in crates that were marked USA, basically marked USA, like food aid, with Red Cross emblems and everything. So the Japanese government took the bulk, if not all of that food, and instead of giving it to the citizens like they were supposed to, they kept it because their military aspirations.
Sounds an awful lot like what we did with the was it the hurricane in
Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, same basic thing. Yeah.
Yeah, where they found a couple warehouses full of food,
Yep.
and they're like, we couldn't get to it. It's like,
Well, at best that was negligence, and at worst that was.
regardless, that's still
Yeah,
that's still their fault. And they were trying to blame everyone else for it, and it's
Well,
like,
and this sounds heartless, but like when I think it was another earthquake, but we were sending aid to Myanmar after a natural disaster, and the government of Myanmar was literally saying like, no, you cannot drop it. You have to give it to us, and we'll distribute it, because the government of Myanmar is known for its benevolence, and we still fucking gave it to them.
well, that's just
like
how dumb we are.
morons.
We don't learn our lesson.
Like, what the hell are we thinking?
Shoot ourselves in the foot and the face.
And then we turn and shoot our hunting buddies in the face.
Sorry, Jim. But anyway, so I mean,
like, you got to stop the. I'm not necessarily anti-foreign aid, but you have to be much more selective, and there have to be strings attached. There just have to be.
well, and that's like
Whether
countries
that's proof or
countries we protect, they should be paying us.
right, yeah, that was one thing I agreed with. Trump
now,
on.
Granted, if it's a country that we need to protect to like keep bad guys out of,
or to just protect sovereignty, because that's part of what we believe in, and that's
But the thing is, though, like those are American lives fighting and dying for this,
exactly. So it should at least be worth it in principle.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
it's never worth it, but
No.
you know what I mean. Like,
no life lost is worth it.
exactly. But the ideals that those things represent should at least be, I guess, morally upright.
Right.
But then in our infinite hypocrisy, we say things like, oh, we're defending Iraqi sovereignty or this, that, and the other, and then we pull out and leave the Kurds to fend for themselves. Which, to be fair, it wasn't nearly as big of a disaster as we thought it was going to be.
No, as the media hyped it up to be.
You
gotta say that right.
Valid point. Valid point.
And
Which
that-
I thought was hysterical, because they've spent the last 2 decades bitching and moaning about conflict in the Middle East, and then when we say we're going to pull out, what about the Kurds? It's like, nice. So Dave Ramsey thinks Mountain Dew is going to go under soon.
Don't buy Mountain Dew stock.
Actually, I shouldn't even say, because Dave Ramsey doesn't advocate day trading.
But I was getting ready to go with something, and that Rando did that.
That is Rando's spot.
He's going for my title. Listen here, biatch.
I was so ready for Rando to win that.
one Highlander.
Speaking of which, Sasha needs to come up with the next event soon. Soon. You got a calendar month.
Oh yeah, I forgot she's the commissioner.
Yeah.
I am the commissioner.
Does she know she's the commissioner? Because I kind of feel like she doesn't know
She
she's
was
the commissioner.
She was very inebriated.
Yeah. She just has to come up with a game is all she's got to do. Or somebody can challenge you, I guess, but I'm too busy.
We'll get it. We'll get it. Anyway, so
if anybody wants to challenge Eric for the belt, name your challenge.
any challenge. All events welcome.
Provided that it's legal in our jurisdiction, stayed, and
That's true.
any commissions necessary. So I actually gave a really good example of that to somebody who asked me, because they were like, I don't understand. And I'm like, let me explain.
It's got to be legal in Indiana as well, too. Not
Well,
just
but
the United States.
and like, so for example, if somebody challenged Eric to a drag race, like, we can't just go out to the road and do it. But if they want to facilitate a drag strip,
Oh yeah.
like, and Eric's okay with going through this, so like, I would probably assume this would be a go-kart sort of thing, because I personally don't want to get into a car and although I probably would. On a drag strip, it's fairly safe. I mean,
if you know what you're doing.
even then.
I mean, you're not gonna actually get in a drag car. You're gonna be driving your own car, so it's probably not that.
Oh no,
fast.
I would actually probably recommend getting into a drag car.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that. Those things. Wah!
Yeah, but they also don't turn.
They only go straight.
I believe so. I don't think they have. I think the front wheels just stay.
That
straight.
would make sense.
Yeah, because I mean you're going in a straight line, and it's built for speed, so you don't want to.
I'm going for speed.
Oh God, I heard some dumb bit. I don't know what her name is, but there's a CNN news anchor who is just. She's just such a bitch. I don't like her at all. She's on in the afternoons.
It's like 90% of them.
Yeah, but I mean this one in particular, like. But anyway, what is she? She made a Top Gun joke, and I'm just like, that was forced. Like, that was stupid. It's also a very dated reference. And then she said rest in peace after she said goose. I'm like, really? That movie came out in, what, 1986?
Long time ago.
It was in the 1980s. I want to say 86 or 89. I don't know why I'm thinking. Now I got to look that up because I'm going to...
Iron Eagle's better.
Bullshit.
Hey. No.
Chappie!
That's so funny.
What?
Chappie? Wasn't that also in
The robot thing, yeah. 1986.
Wasn't that also in Chappie? Wasn't that also in Star Fox?
No, that was Slippy and Peppy. Although it might have been a reference.
Didn't one of them die in it? And it.
Only
I feel like it was
Fox's
Star
dad,
Fox.
James.
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting
James McLeod. Star Fox 64 is still super fun.
Never played it. I watched you guys
you
play
did.
it. I watched you guys play it. I never played it.
You did too on
A
multiplayer.
little bit, maybe. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know. It was a little clunky.
Yeah.
Still a great game though, right? He says so. No, I'm just kidding.
Holy shit, man! Speaking of games, I told you I bought Mortal Kombat Trilogy for my N64 again. I
think I have MK Ultra
I
upstairs.
suck.
No, it's not you. I feel like when we were kids, it was easier.
I would agree with that.
Listen, even on easy.
I know. I'm getting my ass handed to me.
What is that? It's
I'm
like
getting
at
my
kids, were we
ass.
just that better? That much, or were we better? Because I remember I was able to go
Yeah,
through those
we
things.
were able to play, and like I was a mediocre player, and like
I feel
novice
like
was
I
nothing.
feel like we played more games then.
Oh, totally.
I mean, I definitely play plenty of games
Dude,
now,
I missed
but I
that
play
Mario
different games.
Kart lately, and like I got my ass handed to me. Like this was not even like a close win. Like I got fucking demolished.
Okay. Not next week, but maybe the week after. I'm gonna get a setup, and I've got you bring your games and whatnot, and we're gonna set up the N64. We're gonna play.
Oh God.
I think this would be good. Change your pace. Get some video games on there.
What'd you say?
Stream some video games. Oh, we gotta get Smash Brothers. The fan.
Oh, dude, I've got Melee. I can bring my GameCube over.
All right. I didn't like the GameCube one, but
I love the GameCube one, dude.
I didn't like it because they nuked the fan. The fan wasn't as strong.
No. It's still strong in Melee. You're thinking of the one for Wii.
I never played the one for Wii. I didn't even know they had one for Wii.
Yeah.
I have a Wii.
Brawl. And then there was another one that I didn't know existed until I went to the arcade here in town, and I'm like, oh, this is Smash Brothers Brawl. I'm like, what the hell is this?
That's the one Rupert's. Yeah, which, by the way, Rupert from, what was it?
Oh, yeah,
What
Survivor.
was he from? Rupert from Survivor. Rupert from Survivor.
Who also ran for governor under the Libertarian ticket.
He lives, I mean, obviously a lot of you knew that he was from Indiana, but he works and I think he lives here in Shelbyville.
Dude, that arcade is sick. Like,
yeah, and he also helps a lot of kids here in town, and he employs a lot of people and does
yeah,
good things in
actually,
this town.
like, he's a super cool dude.
Yeah, and anything you like want to come up with, if you got an idea, he'll help you.
Like he is that guy.
Yeah, but anyway, so I'm down. We should do not a live, but we should definitely.
We should do a special there.
Once we like not live.
Get a little bit of
record it.
attraction.
Well, yeah, exactly. We got to get some traction.
Make it worth his
Hey,
while.
we're at 35 subscribers, so at 100, we'll do a giveaway. If somebody has any ideas, on like.
We want to do that.
Honestly, we'll just do like a
tell you what,
$20 to $50 gift card.
100 subscribers and a free T-shirt.
There we go.
and a free Average Intelligence T-shirt.
We're just gonna do a T-shirt or
No, we'll do the gift card, too.
Yes.
Because nobody actually wants the T-shirt.
So, yeah.
Okay, so string attached. We'll give you the gift card, but you gotta post yourself wearing the shirt on your social media.
Oh yeah. Yes. No, actually, there are terms. More strings. So the thing is, in order to receive the gift card, you will receive the shirt first.
There you go. And
Just
get
kidding.
creative with it.
Nah, we're not gonna be.
So
We're not gonna be that greedy. We'll just send it all to you. But the thing is,
Please.
you got to post it on your social media.
Yeah, come on.
And actually, here soon we are going to have a Instagram page, maybe.
Just for this?
Yeah, well, just Average Intelligence Productions, whatnot. So obviously, are you gonna make one for your channel?
Oh, no, I'm just keeping my personal one for
Okay.
Instagram.
I was gonna keep my personal one, but I'd like to keep it separate.
I am going to eventually have a website for my channel, though, and part of it is going to be...
Granted, I'll have a website eventually, too.
There's gonna be a dedicated page for the All Events Welcome Championship, and I do need to eventually get a decent... Like, it can be funny or whatever, but I need a picture of you with the belt to put eventually, so that when I put it on there...
First champ.
And first commissioner.
Oh, see? Look,
So, 2 firsts.
a lot of firsts for me. I broke 2 cherries at
He
once.
did, yeah, the same night.
I broke 2 cherries in one night.
That sounds dirty.
Yes. It is dirty. But anyway, so, yeah. So, 100 subscribers, T-shirt, and a
We'll do $100 gift card.
$100 gift card.
I'll chip in 50.
We got it.
50.
So, and no, we're not going to do $1,000 gift card for 1,000 subscribers.
No.
Maybe a couple winners, you know.
There you go. Maybe a couple. Maybe
And that's when we get monetized. Hopefully one
Hopefully.
day. You know, so we can start making.
Well, so on the
$1.
subject of money, and since he's sitting here, I'll go into. You said you
Yeah,
didn't know.
go ahead.
You said you didn't know who Dave Ramsey was. So Dave Ramsey is a guy who basically went broke, or he became a millionaire in his 20s, then went absolutely flat broke because he made his fortune in real estate, but the problem is he borrowed basically all the money. And then the banks called in all his notes at the same time. And he went flat broke.
Damn.
So now he's a millionaire again, but the second time around he did it without any debt whatsoever. He's a huge advocate for, don't ever borrow money for anything ever. The one exception would be a mortgage because, let's be realistic. But he advocates mortgage companies that do what they call manual underwriting. The problem is there's really only one that still does it, unless you deal with a local credit union who's known you for decades, and even then you're limiting yourself on your potential interest rates. So that I try not to say I disagree with Dave, because there's a lot of people who do. They're like, well, he's mostly right. It's like he's gotten a lot of people out of debt, and he obviously knows what he's talking about because he's a millionaire and owes no one anything.
That's the goal.
So he's a true millionaire. All that money is his. He does not owe anything.
That is the goal.
Right. Now, again, it's very easy to buy a house with cash when you're already a millionaire.
Well, that's if this AMC stock goes up and I become a millionaire.
Well, like I said, like I told you off air, somebody called into his show who a young man invested $5,000 into GameStop and walked away with $48,000 when he cashed out. So he was able to pay off his $30,000 student loan and had money to spare.
And some money left over.
Yeah, so he was completely debt free.
You say he borrowed $5,000?
No. He invested $5,000.
Oh, okay. Well, see that's great. Like when people do stuff like that, and that's what it should be used for.
That's what I wanted to say. So there's a lot of talk going around about how the system is rigged.
You can do it however you want, people. But
here's the thing. This is why stories like that are why I love free market economies, because that is literally not possible in any other economic system. You cannot make a smart investment and literally change your life to the point where you can lift your family tree out of poverty. That's rare, but only in a free market economy can you change your wealth in a single generation. It's not possible under any other system. It's just not.
Just like I'll go ahead and quote Ben Shapiro. Capitalism has lifted more people out of poverty than any other system in the world.
It's not just Ben Shapiro, eh?
Oh, does he say it too?
Jordan Peterson says it too. He served on the UN committee.
Where's he from?
Canada.
I thought so. I was gonna say Canada.
That's why he says "eh" a lot, eh?
Makes sense.
But no, he was serving on a UN committee, and their goal was to reduce the rate of abject poverty in the world, which the UN defined as people making less than $1 a day. And they beat their goal. Not only did they get higher than they expected in the projections on average, but they did it 3 years before their deadline. And they did that through capitalism. And there's no debate. There's no debate on this.
You know, the thing is though, a word that has not been thrown around a lot lately here is the democratic socialism.
Yeah, shocker.
You haven't heard it much lately, huh? What do you know?
Huh.
I mean, besides AOC.
Yeah, but
she doesn't really throw it around much either, though.
No, not so much anymore. Well,
no, because she's
now
scared. You know, Ted Cruz tried to have her murdered.
Well, because deep down they know it doesn't work.
They're idiots.
There's a handful.
It's not socialism. That's different. It's like you just adding a word to it.
Well, as Ben Shapiro would say, really, how? How is it different?
You sounded.
How is it different?
You sounded just like him right there, like mannerism too. How?
How is it different? You know, so is it different because the majority decides that it's socialism? Well, guess what? That's socialism.
I know Ben Shapiro is obviously a hardcore. He's Jewish. He's a hardcore conservative, and he's obviously a religious person.
Mm-hmm.
But like he's just.
I give him a huge pass though because he doesn't force it on anyone.
No, and he all of it. Like the thing is, like he just the way he carries himself. Yeah, if you debate him,
and he's improved.
He will let you know.
He has improved a lot over the years as he's gotten older.
Not trying to be mean, but he was like on the spectrum.
For
before,
real.
But then like nowadays, he's just like, boom.
He used to be super obnoxious, and I feel it must have maybe having kids changed him. Like, but he.
Oh no, I think he had some. Not PR, but he had some like coaching.
I'm sure.
You know.
Well, but he also developed a sense of humor.
Oh, and he's funny.
Well, like he made a porn joke, and I was like, really? Ben Shapiro made a porn joke? Or what was he talking? What was he? He was talking about joke.
Ass P word.
That is so funny. Oh, did you see the response video that the Young Turks did to that?
Oh my gosh.
Which in this, I don't have any respect for the Young Turks, but I even got less of, because they were sitting there cutting up Ben Shapiro, and they're like basically insinuating that like he's watching it to jerk off. And he's like, honey, I have to watch it again for my show. It's like, really? Like,
he was doing it for views.
Oh, he was doing it for the lulz, but
yeah, but who was it? What's Chank's nephew? What's his name? Hassan Piker. He's a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit.
I mean, when he was talking about Dan Crenshaw, he's like a brave soldier. I fucked his whole.
Well, not just a brave soldier, a brave Mujahideen soldier.
And I'm like, dude, fuck you.
Well, even like, their name is a middle finger. You know, because the Young Turks is the political group that was responsible for the Armenian genocide. That's what they call themselves.
You can't make that stuff up.
No.
And then the way they argue and this and that, and they're leftist politics.
So it's not even what they argue, it's they're so fucking pompous. And then
I'm like,
what did Chang Google it? I'm sorry, Crowder impersonating him in his own
Google it.
Crowder just dressing up as Chang at his own talk.
Crowder may have his issues, man, but he's funny.
But like he has no sense of humor. He has no sense of humor, because if somebody did that to me, I would find that hilarious. I would find that hilarious.
I'd laugh my ass off.
I'd take pictures with the dude. That's funny.
That's the thing though. That's the difference about like I'm not gonna get into conservatives versus liberals or whatever you want to leftists. But like they have no sense of humor.
No, and it used to.
And I'm not talking about.
It used to be the conservatives.
It used to be backwards.
Yeah, it used to be backwards. The liberals were the ones that had all.
Well,
the jokes.
that's because you had classic liberals.
Yeah.
like Joe Rogan,
Well, and
Tim
like,
Pool.
well, and like for an example though, like Dan Crenshaw's wedding party, all his groomsmen wore eye patches.
I don't even count that. That's hilarious. I know.
That's
I saw
good.
that. I don't really count him as a conservative though. I know he has some conservative
Well,
values,
okay,
but
valid.
he seems more liberal on certain things. Moderate.
Moderate right leaning.
Well, I mean, you have moderate right and moderate left.
Yeah, valid.
If
point.
he were in the middle, it'd be a centrist.
Well, and this is funny too. Apparently, they called his bachelor party Dan Appreciation Night, which spells Dan.
Oh, I got that. Holy shit, that took me a second to get. Dan.
I'm sorry, the dude's got a sense of humor, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah, and the thing is, he doesn't get bent out of shape about stuff.
No.
When
He does
when
get bent
Hassan
out of
Piker
shape.
was talking about that,
That pissed me off though.
yeah, but
Like,
Dan, he's just like,
well, because Dan, rightfully so, was like, who the fuck is this guy?
yeah, but Dan's like, I killed people.
Yeah. Or like, what did Red Foreman say? He's like, look, pal, I'm probably the only man in this room who's ever killed someone.
Yeah, right.
Give the
Man.
kid an autograph and then no more autographs.
I don't know, like this
Well, but
shock
Well,
therapy
but
that these people are trying.
that's indicative of another problem that is pretty common with internet culture in general.
Clickbait.
But more so, no, that's not the problem. Here's
Shock
the problem.
value. That's what I meant to say.
No,
My bad.
it's not even this, and this is specifically. The entire internet just watched me adjust my balls. I didn't realize there.
No, they didn't.
Oh, speaking of
yeah,
which,
they did.
you'll appreciate this. So I tried out this thing last night. I got invited to try out this. I don't really know how to describe it. It's called Boy. You've got balls attached to strings and you swing them around and do tricks and shit. So, but the whole time I'm worried about hitting myself in the face. I don't ever think to cover my balls.
You smack yourself. In the
Oh,
face.
like perfect shot. Like right under the tip of my dick, right, and it like had like an upward angle. So it was like the
Yo.
perfect sack tap.
I can't read that.
I can't either because we're old.
Poi.
Poi.
P-O-I.
Yeah, poi.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I don't know how to describe it,
Oh,
but like if you know what it is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Who is that?
that's a new subscriber today.
I know. What's the name?
It
It may very well have been.
Jad Wag Black. Jade Vega Black.
Haven't a clue.
We're eventually gonna switch to a laptop and whatnot, but
Yeah, because we cannot see.
actually, I was gonna tell you to start bringing your laptop if you could, because then we could have it sitting like right here.
Oh, yeah.
Or somewhere close to where we can read all this stuff, so we don't have to I don't have to get up because we're old. I'm not really old. You can't see right now. Hour and a half. But anyway, what were we getting at?
What was I getting at?
Awkward silence.
I was going somewhere with this too.
Dan Crenshaw. That's what
Yeah,
we
we were
talking
talking about
about.
sense of humor, and we started with Ben Shapiro. I think we were just kind of going off on a tangent, but it was a fun one. So
Oh yeah. The bulk of the title is behind us. We pretty much.
so anyway, talking about Dave Ramsey.
Yes.
One of the biggest problems I have with like watching people just throw money in the stock market is I'd wager to say a lot of these people still have debt.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, I forget who said it, but like it's like it's completely pointless to invest if you owe people money.
I mean, yes and no.
Yes, in the sense that
It's not completely pointless.
It's not pointless, but here's the thing: if it goes wrong,
Oh yeah, you're in trouble.
yeah. So
Well, because most people, they don't burn money they have. They burn money they don't have, like mortgage,
Exactly,
rent,
yeah.
Food, utilities.
exactly, yep.
It's like if you're gonna play in the stock market, you're gonna play with Bitcoin,
Well,
cryptocurrency.
if you're gonna play in the stock market, you need to play.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not like the best advice that I've ever heard about playing day trading is like you take $1,000 that if it disappeared, it wouldn't affect you. So if you win, great. If you lose,
Well, that's the thing with the whole GameStop. You've got your average Joes who don't have money putting all their money into this, and if something goes wrong,
And
they're screwed.
They've gotten lucky because this
Yes.
does not happen.
That's because it is a cooperative attack. What would
Yeah,
you
but
call
even
that?
then,
Not attack,
like the
but
timing is just perfect.
coordinated.
Coordinated,
attack.
yeah.
Thank you. I'm not coordinated.
But even so, like, because this stuff just does not happen. And now that it has
By
happened,
the way, thank you for the subscribe today.
Yes,
You're
thank you.
awesome. He subscribed today.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, since this has happened now, they're gonna figure ways around it. They're gonna figure out ways to prevent it from happening again, or at least figure out ways to not be taken advantage of that way again. And they'll probably figure out a way to use it to their advantage, doing something similar to what I described earlier.
Yeah, you're giving out secrets, man.
Well, no, because even if it's not the hedge fund guys, like if I'm like. Even if I had the money to play, I would be watching that group like a hawk and being like, okay, what's their next target? Because that's what I'm going to buy into. And then they're going to pump it up, and then I'm going to sell. I'm going to sell high.
Well, that's true.
Which realistically is what you should do if you're...
What I was going to... I'm actually glad you started talking about this. We started talking about this again. So, once again, I was listening to Tim Pool. And I'm telling you, the dude's not like, he's just talking about stuff, and it's it's just going about stuff that normal people wouldn't know and understand. But he was talking about the GameStop rebellion. That's what he's calling it. I was like, that's pretty catchy,
Yeah.
because they're rebelling against the hedge funds, pretty much, But anyway, so Tim was talking about
Something or other.
I lost my train of thought. I completely lost my train of thought. It is getting cold in here. Is it cold in here?
Not to me,
I am
but
freezing. What is it, like 20 degrees outside here? I know it's colder
28.
elsewhere, but
28, 29.
28, 29. Damn it. I don't know. We'll circle back.
It'll come back to us.
No, but have you heard that, the circle back comment? The new press secretary.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Oh,
she
I
is
do not
such
like
a
her at all.
bitch.
Could you imagine if she had?
She doesn't even give answers.
Could you imagine if she'd been on the Trump team?
Oh my gosh!
She'd already be out.
I
We
mean,
got another.
said LOL.
Oh.
Yeah, I can read
She
that.
would have been fired yesterday. I mean, she would have been fired on day 2.
The way she answers questions, she doesn't answer them, and I'm like, to give, like, to be fair, like, yeah, there were some questions that Kaylee. I mean, she was pretty good. She
was really good.
She came, ready to fight, and there wasn't. Like, I'm just wondering if that was just her, how she answered, or they were pre-asked questions, or
She came hostile because she knew it was a hostile situation. We gotta know what is it.
He said, "Cue Jeopardy music."
Waiting to think.
Yeah,
that's catchy as shit.
We
by
must
the
have
way,
a horrible delay.
it's a decent 7 seconds.
What we're quicker though. It was only like a couple seconds for us. So where are you at? Not to get into your business,
Yeah,
but
we're not trying to dox you at all.
Are you in Indiana like us? Or are you elsewhere? But
Who knows is mystery.
I mean, I don't get how like that is like okay, and the media is so easy on her.
Oh, I was
Isn't
just gonna
that
say
great?
that. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I mean, I'm not either.
I mean, frankly,
they're not even talking about the new stimulus, $1.9 trillion, when we just did what was it, 900 billion, and then before that almost 3 trillion.
Yeah, I don't.
That's a lot of money.
Well, they're talking about it.
It's a lot of money, eh?
It's a lot of money, eh?
I knew I'd get them.
And you have to pay it back. You know what?
$1 a month.
Federal government needs to invest in GameStop.
Oh my gosh, that's how we get out of this.
That's
mess.
how we get out.
Actually, no. Like we said, we
that
got to
would
fix the budget.
legitimately be the definition of illegal trading. Well, except you had all those representatives and senators who got caught red-handed insider trading, and nothing happened to them. At least not the Democrats.
Rules for thee.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess what we've taken away from this is, yes, the system is rigged, but it's not. You can still win. You just, like, okay, this is gonna Matrix moment. If you've got to take the financial red pill here. It's like yes, the system is rigged. That much is obvious. But you have to learn the system so that you can play in it.
Jeopardy music just queued on. I got it back now.
You got it back.
Okay, so Tim Pool was actually talking about. Oh my God! It shut off again. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, talking about the not the hedge funds. Oh my gosh! It really did shut off again. I'm pissed right now. I'm exhausted. I've been running around all day with these kids. They're driving me nuts. Anyway, damn it! Stocks, Gamestop. GameStop rebellion. Oh my gosh.
Mutual funds, shorting, stock market, S&P 500, Dow Jones Industrial Average, Nasdaq average.
It was actually about WallstreetBets. I can't quite.
Reddit.
Where did I read it? No, I'm just kidding. Is that how they name that? Reddit?
I have no idea.
If you think about it,
Probably.
It's a forum. You read it.
Yeah, probably. I would
that is
imagine.
clever. That is very clever. Good job. No, not good job.
Not at all. It's kind of like how that's how I felt when I realized that the FedEx logo has an arrow in it. And now I can't unsee it.
It does?
Yeah.
I don't want to see it now.
You'll see it.
I don't.
You're going to see it.
We always get the Amazon trucks around here. Like, everybody orders off Amazon, and they just decided to finally start doing their own delivery service. I was like, that's genius.
That's genius.
You know, kind of.
I'm going to show you the FedEx logo so that you can... Okay, that works. It's right there.
Show me it again.
There's an arrow between the E and the X.
What the fudge?
Right?
Holy shit.
Oh, one of the dumbest moments of my life. You remember Saturn, the car?
This is exactly it. That's how they named it. Yeah, he agreed with the Reddit thing.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that makes sense. But so you remember the Saturn cars?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah. For the longest time, I thought their logo...
Selling it. Just kidding.
So for the longest time, I thought their logo was an X. And then I'm actually standing in a dealership. And me being the obnoxious little twerp I was... I'm like, why is the logo an X? And the salesman overheard me. He's like, no, it's Saturn, because there's the planet and there's the ring. And I'm just like,
it's not Planet X, you dumbass. Just kidding.
that was not a proud moment for me.
Jeez. I really want to bring this back.
There's the old man laugh again.
Oh my gosh!
Everywhere.
I about passed out that night from doing that. Like, literally, I did the old man laugh.
I gotta
while
say,
everybody else was doing it, and I was like, I blacked out for a second.
I gotta say, I think my favorite one was when Hillary Clinton got played. You just go, you lost again.
That was bullshit. It's like Hillary
hilarious.
Clinton. That shit was so funny though, and I'm like, how did she lose?
Same way she did last time, Pinky.
Trying to take over the world. Man. Yeah, but the thing is, it's like, back to the 2016 election. I feel like we'd definitely probably be somewhat hostile with Russia right now if she would have won in 2016. I'm not going to say we'd be in war, but I'm just saying hostile.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. So I overheard a news story about how, I can't remember if he said he signed it or if they were negotiating it, but another nuclear arms treaty with Russia, which is it's a good thing. Biden. They're negotiating. Well, but here's the thing. So this is the problem I have with Democrats most of the time, and specifically how they draft legislation, or the kind of legislation they draft. So they're really, really good at coming up with rules that are unenforceable, because it's like, okay, take that. Both sides agree to de-escalate their nuclear armaments or bring them down. What exactly are you going to do if Russia doesn't hold up their end of the deal?
Well,
under normally in a treaty like that, it would be threat of military action.
Well, I mean,
but the conditions of this are both sides lowering their nuclear capability.
Is a good thing, But the thing is, like you
But
said,
how are
though,
you going to enforce it?
that's this is
Because in order
side
to
topic.
enforce it, you would have to have nuclear weapons.
Side topic, the Paris Climate Accord.
Same thing.
China.
How are you going to enforce it?
They're not holding up their end.
No, and how are you going to? Well, I laughed. I laughed out loud when they said,
And that's going to cost us an estimated $1 trillion to hop back in.
Yep. Well,
Use your
and
brain.
I laughed. I laughed audibly when somebody actually said on the news with a straight face that Biden was going to be tough on China. I'm like, how?
Okay.
Well, first of all, yeah, right. But second of all, how?
She and him are tight.
Yeah, she.
She and he.
I envisioned somebody creating a montage of the footage of Joe Biden and Xi together, to playing the old Winnie the Pooh theme song in the background.
No.
That
they talk about my best friend.
no, have you seen?
He's
have
not
you
a
seen, have you
warm-hearted
seen-
person because he's already dead.
Have you seen the video of the North Korean military parade and they've got the Bee Gees playing in the back?
No, that's hilarious.
It is so funny. Like it's much funnier than it should be.
Cue the copyright.
Oh no, you should, like it's not hard to find. You can probably YouTube search North Korean military parade and it will probably come up. But I first saw it on Facebook with the caption, "This is why North Korea hates us." And it works. Like it works very well.
Well, I mean, think about the interview. Remember, North Korea threatened us over that movie.
And we did the right well, no, we didn't do the right thing. Hollywood really pussied out on that one, but
Yeah, well, I mean, they took it out of a lot of theaters, but
they took it out of theaters, period, and they just dumped it on Netflix.
Did they?
Yeah,
Fucking pussies.
right?
Remember when Trump called him Rocket Boy?
Rocket Man, yeah.
Or he called him Rocket Boy.
Oh, did he at first? Rocket Man became his like official handle.
Rocket Man.
Right up there with
Because
Cricket.
he's basically saying, "I'll nuke you."
I nuke you. What's her name? I've talked about her on the channel before. She's the North Korean defector. What is her name? I can't remember. Yomi Park, something like that. I don't know. Anyway,
Yoko
I've mentioned her before, but she has a funny video where she talks about she watched the interview for the first time, and she's like, "This is so funny."
Kidding me?
No, it's hilarious.
You're telling me someone other than is it Kim Jong Un?
Kim Jong Un, yeah.
Kim Jong Un? Someone else besides him watched the movie?
Well, she watched it in the United States, not in North Korea.
Oh, okay. What was she? Wait a minute. She was the what?
She defected from North Korea.
Oh, that girl.
Yeah, and
okay,
now
yeah.
she's
I remember.
she's an activist.
Yeah, and she came here.
Yeonmi Park.
Yeah,
Yeonmi
I
Park
remember
is
who
her
you're talking
name.
about now. Okay.
Yeah, which apparently she wrote a book, which I'd really like to read because she talks about growing up in North Korea. And that's
how they like no news, no TV,
None.
nothing.
well,
No
where
radio.
She,
Did they? I don't think they had radio.
no, well, sometimes it depends on when you got your electricity. Because like where she lived, they got electricity sometimes.
They had 80s rock when it was on. Dire Straits.
Whatever, man. Airborne came on, and then they all put on their karate gis and Cobra Kai'd it.
I can't wait for the new season.
Actually, that makes sense because Cobra Kai karate is actually just Tang Sudo, which is Korean.
Eagle Fang, bitch. No, just kidding.
Eagle Fang is old school American karate.
Dude, I hope they get their name back.
They have to. I think the reason they went with something dorky like Eagle Fang is because it couldn't be cooler than Cobra Kai.
Right, because if you get something cooler than Cobra Kai, then the show
Then it's like, oh, well, we don't want to go back to Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm not going to remember what I was trying to talk about.
You
so.
will, like, later on tonight.
Oh,
and
I'll
I
be
still...
laying in bed and it'll pop up.
Because today was actually a horrendously shitty day at work, I was held over an hour, so I still have to get the gym in.
Oh. Well, we're an hour and 45, so this is definitely...
Yeah, I figured
point.
it'd be around an hour and a half tonight, so... But yeah, I have to go lift heavy things. I legit thought about just skipping tonight.
I'm going to lift my heavy ass out of this chair and walk to the fridge and make some food.
No,
I'm getting better, so I'll be back in the gym here probably in the next
that's good
2 weeks.
because when you start feeling better too, we got an DDP yoga appointment.
Hold on 1 second. Hold that thought. Talk to the audience. I'm gonna show you something.
Oh, I thought you were gonna fart.
No.
I just saw the leg going up. And
Talk to the two people.
so howdy, y'all. I'm gonna talk to you about Dave Ramsey. Except he's back. So
No,
what the hell is that?
This is not a sex toy.
It looks like one.
This is what you would call a neck traction, or I'm sorry, a cervical traction extender or something like that. Basically, what you do is you
So
lay
it's
on
a
the
neck
ground.
stretcher.
Your back's right here, your head's on here, your neck here.
Oh, I've seen similar things.
And it goes behind. It goes behind your back like that, and you just lay down, and it opens up your thoracic,
So,
and all your discs. Obviously, I have a messed up disc in my neck.
I probably need one of those.
I mean, dude, I think I got that online for like $15. But the thing is, 10 minutes a day. I just got it today. That's the Amazon box over there. Yes,
I just got my new tripod today.
Ooh. Did you get your camera? Or do you have a camera?
I'm using my phone for now, but camera's next.
You should have said something. I've got like 4 of them up there.
Are they better than my iPhone?
Not cameras.
Tripods. Oh,
I mean,
know,
it's
but
not
I
a
got,
tripod like this. It's
mine's kind of in between, and mine also doubles as like a. Mine also
getting ready to
doubles as like a
shut it off.
jig.
Yeah, but I also got a new pillow because it's a
Was it a my pillow?
chiropractic pillow. I don't know, something like that. I just got to make sure I'm back, and not gonna end up back the way I was. I mean, I couldn't even lift my arm, dude. That was insane.
Yeah, shit. That's rough.
And also, I'd like to get back into the gym. I'm pretty sure I've gained like 20 pounds.
I don't want to talk about it.
I've been eating really bad.
I don't want to talk about
Anyway, that's a good stopping point. So thanks for popping in, man. He needs to open his. I don't know.
it.
But anyway, hey guys, thanks for popping in and chatting. Appreciate you.
What does that
Definitely
say?
like, share, subscribe. Well, I mean, I don't care if you share. I do care if you share, but
He needs
it'd be
to
awesome if you did.
Open his what?
I don't know. Like,
Oh, something about when. I think she means you need to open your cervix.
cervix. God dang. Thoracic. Open it up, bitch.
I thought the same thing, but I wasn't going to say anything.
All right, people. We'll see you next Wednesday.
We'll close on cervix.